to the Doormats podcast.
It's been a little bit of a break for us.
Yeah, not too bad though.
Yeah, we just got busy.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Our lives just got really chaotic really fast.
Yeah, because unfortunately this is not our full-time
No,
job,
I know.
but you guys can help make that happen for us. Just support.
I know. We've talked about how like this is so fun, like learning, you know, all the elements that go into filming a podcast. And we always say like if we had the full time like ability to put into this, like we can make it a lot better quality than this.
Yeah.
We're working with what we got.
So if you are an expert in video editing, sound engineering, social media, all those things, and you would like to be an unpaid intern, we are willing to offer you equity in our company.
Yeah. 10% actually.
No! Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
You act like
You've never seen Shark Tank?
10% of zero is still zero.
Okay, that means you don't believe in the vision.
No, I do. I believe
1% is like, whoa, like that could be a chunk, you know?
Wait, so yeah, we're promising you future, you know.
We're promising you equity, but if we were profitable, of course we'd start paying you. I'm not saying we're not going to pay you. I'm just saying you don't want to give away too much of your cut. Watch a lot of Shark Tank at night. We're not trying to sleep, so...
We should do a Shark Tank episode where we both have to come with an idea.
And pitch.
Yeah. And then, like, we have people decide which one was the better.
I should make my mom do that for, like, her students. I should tell her students to pitch us stuff and we'll be the sharks and see if we invest.
That'd be interesting. I'll watch it.
Yeah. So anyway, if you have those skills or could just teach us, hit us up. Slide into our DMs or email us.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about a little recap on what was going on while we were away for a sec?
I honestly can't even remember the last time we filmed an episode. It wasn't that long ago, but...
No, but it's felt like a while.
Because we usually do it like every week pretty consistently.
Yeah. Well, I've been gone this past week. I was gone in Ohio for almost the entire week. So, like, we didn't do anything for those, like, 6 days I was gone.
Yeah. And I was here manning the house.
Yeah.
Feeding the cats, running around.
I know. I kept seeing you on the Ring camera.
See, that was my fear. I was like, I really don't want to come back and have Jenna just be like, oh, look at you.
To be honest, because you come really early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was up that early because of the conference I was at.
You could have said hi.
I know.
I would have scared me so bad.
Yeah, you would have freaked.
Yeah, I would have.
But yeah, I was like, oh, she's already there.
Yeah, I don't like that.
For context, she she watches our cats while we're gone. Felt like that needed some context.
I'm trusted him.
Yeah. But yeah, my week was very chaotic, very tiring, but it went well. It was essentially just this giant work conference that we were hosting. So I'm like the event coordinator for it. I mean, it was me and one other person. He did a lot of like the logistics on like the machine side of it, but I did all the little details that goes into like
you did a lot
coordinating. There's a lot of like little details. People like really overlook event coordination and just kind of think that these things just like, you know, happen. But there's a lot of like little things that go into it to make sure everything flows and like, you know, and it's one of those jobs where it's like, if everything goes right, no one notices, but if something goes wrong, like you'll really notice. But yeah, something funny that happened to me was this man came up to me. So I was the first to get down there in the morning because I was blowing up balloons because, you know, just the little details make things. I'm not a real stickler on like little details make an event. Like I really do think like just even the tiniest things can like really just elevate something. And so I decided, took it upon myself that to save money, we were going to blow up like all our balloons, you know, because it's expensive. So I was blowing them all up and this man came up to me and was like, because it's like known that I've recently graduated. I graduated in like December. So yeah. But I'm like, Ben graduated. But he was like, yeah, so congrats on, you know, graduating. I was like, oh, thank you so much. And he was like, all that hard work for what, being just blowing up balloons? And I was like, yes, sir. Like I just, you know, went through 4 years of college to blow up balloons. That is my title here, actually. Yeah, felt a little demeaning, but I was like, Boomers, what can you say?
Also, it's like, would you say that about just because you graduated? What if he saw you like drinking a Diet Coke? Like, look at you and me drinking a Diet Coke. It's like, there's just not. I think it's hard too if people don't exactly get what your job means. Like if it's a little bit more niche, especially like your degree is like pretty well known, but yeah, like your like title for event planning, like there's a lot that goes into that. And there was when I also recently graduated within last year. Been at my job for a whole year this month, so
corporate girly.
Yay. Very thankful for this job, but it is like when I got my job, I was trying to tell my old boss when I worked at the bakery about, this is what I'm gonna do and stuff. And she was like, so you're one of those people that try to like sell me a car? I was like, no. She basically thought I was like a telemarketer. I'm a copywriter for a brand that deals with cars. And I think she didn't understand it. And she was like, so when I hear you trying to sell me one of those things, it's going to be you. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I went to school for. That's so funny. Be a telemarketer, which is fine. But yeah, I get it. People don't always understand the full scope. But you did a lot of work for that, and your mom said it turned out great. Heard a lot of great reviews. You're working real hard.
Yeah, it was exhausting. It was like 14, 15-hour days, but it was worth like it was really cool just meeting a lot of the customers and things like that. And it was like just even meeting some of my like coworkers, getting to know them better, because it's almost like it reminded me of a little bit like adult retreat. Remember we used to do that in high school where we'd like go away to like a summer camp kind of for like a week. It kind of felt like that, but in a professional setting, because you are like working with people and it is like, you're on the job, but then at part of your job is like the mixer, which is like from 6 to 9 with a hosted bar, and like people were drinking, and so it felt like kind of like almost summer camp, like weird, like you're in a hotel with like a bunch of like a lot of my coworkers are like in their 20s too, and just like younger. So it was like, it was cool. Like it was fun, like being in person, because like I work from home half the time. So it was cool meeting people and everything. I bet
it was probably like a little bit, not like super scary, but there's an extent of like, okay, I know you on like a work level, but when you're forced to spend so much time together, you have to get to know each other socially, and you just want to be liked so badly, like that whole thing. And then, but all that kind of leads into the idea of once you're forced to be with people, you kind of break down those barriers and your true self shines through. And that can be kind of scary, but also fun to learn about people's, just their quirks, their weird habits, all that kind of stuff.
That was our fear starting a podcast. Not that we are expecting that many people to really listen to this, but it is the fact that like once you're talking kind of off the record, like it's not like we have a script in front of us. Yeah. Who knows like what our how our personalities are going to translate to like people that are watching online. I think
and we're still in the beginning of this, so I feel like we're still in some ways kind of reserved. So like, I wonder how this will like pan out and that kind of thing. But that brings us to our topic for today. Yes, we're going to be in the magical game. Open up the magical toy box. Oh, is that yours? We are going to be exposing some of our weird habits. Yes. I'm going to say that again. We are going to be exposing some of our weird habits today, just to like, I don't know. Like the other thing is, I'm just so afraid of judgment all the time. I need to get over it, because I'm just imagining people being like, they're so quirky, they're so cute. I'm like, honestly, this is just fun for us because it's things that we make fun of in each other that we think are weird, and other people have commented and be like, no, that's goofy. Like, so it's just kind of fun.
We also wanted to reiterate of like, let me make this clear. We don't think being like a doormat or like an excessive people pleaser is like this funny quirk. Like we are fully aware that like we have issues. Like we have our goal is to kind of make it so other people can relate and not feel alone. Like I don't think we're out here trying to be like these not like, I don't know. I don't want to say like we're not these enlightened individuals that like have everything figured out, I guess. Like in some ways, like I would love to be like a role model to like little girls looking up, but like I'm not sitting here being like, I have everything figured. Like I'm a doormat and my life's perfect. Like
I think something that I have said a lot in life, and I think it applies to this podcast in general, is just it ain't that deep. Like when you watch it, just know, like, whatever we're doing, there's not always a bunch of layers. There's not always. Sometimes it is just like, we would have had this conversation anyways, but now we're recording it. So whatever we talk about, just take it with a grain of salt, and hopefully you can at least relate or get a kick out of whatever it is.
Like, I know a lot of people will find our behaviors infuriating, but maybe that's a good thing. Like, you know.
I think these are mild. I think the things that we said are mild, but they've always sparked debate whenever I bring up these topics with other people.
Yeah, so. I think there's just, like, there's a big spectrum of, like, there's some people that are very sure of themselves, very, like, confrontational, and we're just on the opposite spectrum of that. So if we get people that are like that, they'll look at us and be like, what? Yeah. Like, how do you live your life like that? And then I'll look at them and be like, I don't know how you live your life like that. Yeah. Like, I just can't fathom that.
Yeah. But, and these aren't super, like, doormat led. These are just, like, weird
These are habits. Just genuinely what we think are, like, quirks.
Yeah.
So I guess to differentiate.
We usually point out in each other. So we're just going to debate them. And honestly, you guys can help me fix her. And you guys can help her fix me. So who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I feel like I always go first. My first weird habit is that I have a very specific vernacular when it comes to food.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like, that drives me nuts. I'm not even gonna lie. You're so...
I haven't even started talking and she's already...
Let me just go off on this. And, like, it's so hard because you're also so, like, people-pleasing in the way that, like, you just won't eat. You just, like, straight up won't eat. Like, if there's not... Like, you're not someone that's, like... No, like, I don't want to go to this restaurant. Or you're not going to be like, no, like, I can't find anything. Like, you just won't eat. And that, like, drives me nuts even more. Like, I'd rather you be like, no, I don't want to go here. No, like, I don't want this kind of food.
But the other part to that is, like, it doesn't bother me. I think that's where I think people... I think sometimes it's this thing of, like, oh, well, she's not eating and then she's going to complain later, that kind of stuff. Like, I'm genuinely fine. Because I'm just very, like... It's a choice, you know. I think sometimes I get frustrated when people are like, you're so picky and this and that. I am a picky eater. Like, I know that. I will try whatever. I'm not, like, picky in the sense where I'm too stubborn to try anything. Yeah. I just don't like a lot of things that I do try.
Yeah.
And I'm just and I have a pretty good gauge if you tell me what's in it, or I can kind of tell, like, I'm not going to like it, but I'll try it if it means that much to you. And it's kind of that thing of, like we said before, like, wherever we go, I will find something. Like, no matter what, at the end of the day, I will be fine. And sometimes I hate to, like, I feel a little bit vulnerable going to, like, dinner parties or, like, let's all go out to eat. Like, I get nervous because, one, I'm picky. Two, I eat very slowly. Like, this is canon in my family. Like, there are so many times when they've cleared the entire table around me and, like, just left a light on in the kitchen so that I can finish eating. And then it just makes me feel, like, embarrassed if we're in public and everyone's finished their meals and I still have like half of it there. I'll just be like, oh, it's fine, and then I'll go home and eat the rest of it because it's like I don't want it, because if all eyes are on me. So I have a lot of quirks when it comes to food. Like, I'm very picky. I need it if the food is supposed to be hot, I need it to be hot, and if the food is supposed to be cold, I need it to be cold. Like, I'm not going to drink lukewarm milk. If I haven't eaten my cereal fast enough, I add more milk to it so that it gets colder because I cannot deal with, like, the room temperatureness of it. And if I get food, let's say we go to Olive Garden or something and they bring us the pasta, I start eating and I can already tell, like, this is the warmest part. Like, everything's, like, warm but not burning hot. I really don't like that. And I'll eat out the middle of the pasta because that's what stays the warmest. And then I leave all of the outside, box it up, take it home, nuke it, and then I will eat it. Or if I order from, DoorDash or something, as soon as I get the food, I'm pretty much already know. Like, I can kind of feel from the outside of the bag. I won't even try it. I put it straight in the microwave because it makes me upset if I bite it and it's lukewarm. And I have a friend and I always send her snaps when I order. If I order somewhere that delivers, like, fries, I hate when they're soggy and cold. I won't eat it. So literally when they say your driver is close by, I get out a pan and put oil in it and I heat it so that as soon as the food comes, I ordered fish and chips from somewhere and I had the pan ready. So as soon as it showed up, 5 minutes cooking it up, getting that sear on there, and then I serve it and eat it. Because if I don't enjoy it, like,
yeah,
it
I mean,
really
I appreciate that you
bothers
value
me.
your food that much.
But that's why I get a little bit scared if I don't know you that well. I'm afraid because there's always comments, and I'm just like, here's the thing. I'm fine. Don't look over here. Whatever I'm doing, like,
Yeah.
I am not unhappy. I am totally content. Like, I know what I need to do to take care of myself. It just, when other people start commenting and like, oh, you didn't like it, or do you want this? It like overwhelms me because there's no fix for it. And then sometimes I get so nervous I'm not hungry anymore. So I'm like, just don't comment on it. And
no, that's fair.
Close friends, it's like we've even been shopping before, and you'll just be like, you don't want this, do you? I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. So it's just like, fine.
Pretty much no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess I it sounds exhausting, but I get it.
I'm sure it's a form of something that will be discovered at a later time.
See, I guess maybe I just don't fully understand that because growing up, like, my family is so, it was just ingrained in us, like, especially my dad's from China, and like, we were just given just the most bizarre crap to eat. Like, there was no limit there. So I think, like, and my family's so, like, chaotic and go with the flow that, like, I just don't, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. Do you think, like, your pickiness was, like, stemmed, like, you were always this, like, you were born picky, or like it was like behavioral?
I think I was born because I had, the other part of this is that I had very strict parents that were like, suck it up, you're not leaving till it's gone, or you don't get anything else. And that's what people always say. They're like, if your kids are hungry enough, they will eat it. I wouldn't, though. So there's plenty of times when things would just like, you're not getting anything else, and I would just be like, that's fine with me, like, and just not, I just wouldn't.
Really? That's crazy.
I just wouldn't, they wouldn't make me anything special. They'd be like, this is what we're having. And like, obviously, like, I grew up in a Mexican household, so there's a lot of different flavors and foods and all this kind of stuff. And I did like a lot of it, but if it was something that I didn't like, I just wouldn't eat it. And also, we all talk about, I feel like I'm pretty malnourished. I'm not like a healthy, like, full-rounded individual.
I will say you, like, don't like meat. And I've always encouraged you to find a different protein source because I think you lack a lot of protein.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I lack a lot of protein and iron. It's really hard to beat the anemic allegations. I'm telling you,
take a supplement, please, for the love of God, take a supplement.
I had a bruise just on my hand the other day, just on that hand. No reason for it. And I said it to my friend. I was like trying to beat the anemic allegations.
They might actually have iron gum. Like, I know you don't like pills, but there might be like gummies you can take in the morning. That at least would do something. Like,
that would be okay. It's just like, I just don't really think about it, you know? Like, but I should. I know that's something I need to. That's only part one of the weird food habits.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. Yeah,
other part to this is the way that I talk about food or describe it.
Yeah, you're very specific.
I'm very descriptive. Yeah. Like, I feel that certain, like, okay, I always say, and everyone hates me for it, I say that Gatorade is kind of creamy.
I hate that. I don't.
Like,
no.
Just because, and I don't even really know exactly how to explain it, but people get crazy when I say it.
Because it doesn't make sense.
I'm not even trying to start a fight. It's just really how I think about it. And I'm like, I'm not saying that Gatorade itself is creamy, but to me it has a creamier texture than water.
That's interesting.
Because there is a little bit of a thickness to it, right? But barely. A little bit different viscosity to it when it pours.
I don't think so.
All right.
I would describe like a pink drink as creamy.
Yeah, because there's actual like cream type stuff in it. I'm just talking about how cream is thicker than water. You know what I'm saying? When it pours, has like a creaminess to it.
Yeah.
Should I just say it has a denser viscosity? Would that help?
I just still don't think it's that much thicker than water. Like, I don't think there's a noticeable.
It's not much.
I don't think.
But to me, I think it's. But to me, it's noticeable where I am like, oh, this is like more of a.
That's so interesting. Okay.
Whatever. The other part is that I think I don't like regular Coke. I like Diet Coke. I think regular Coca-Cola has a cinnamony taste to it.
I don't know that.
And here's how I know I'm right. Because
okay, sure.
no one ever tastes it. I think maybe someone else told me that they tasted it once, but it's probably like one of my own sisters. And then one of my friends hit me up once, and she was like, yo, I went to get some regular Coke from a fountain, and the syrup levels weren't quite right. And she said it totally had a cinnamon flavor to it. So I think it's an underlying weird flavor, but it's just not as strong.
Really sensitive.
Saying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I also think certain Reese's, you can get good ones and you can get ones that have like the chocolate has a raisiny taste to it. And this one, my sisters think this one too. Like, I think this one is for sure real. Like
a raisiny taste?
A raisiny taste to the chocolate. It's usually like...
experienced that.
It's usually not in like... It's kind of like if you get the bag of minis. You know how sometimes the formula can be a little bit different if you're getting like the mini version of a candy?
Yeah, okay.
It's like usually like that. If you're getting like a Reese's Big Cup, you're usually pretty safe. But it's like the individual, not the little Reese's in the foil, the individual Reese's in the orange wrapper. Those tend to be raisiny.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Unsafe.
But you think all brands taste the same.
Yeah, okay, here's the difference though. We've talked about this. My sense of smell is so bad compared to yours. Like, I am on the other end of the spectrum where like there will be times where there's like a strong scent that a bunch of people are like, wow, that's really strong. I can't smell. Like, I don't know what it is.
That's weird.
It's not even like I got COVID or anything. Like, I just don't think I've ever had a good sense of smell. And then maybe it's gotten worse over time. So like, weird. My taste is probably way less sensitive than yours because I know like taste and smell are really related. And so yeah, when I like, and I'm just not a picky person either, so like really there's not a ton of things that I'm like really dislike and really like won't. And I don't have texture issues either, so like I'm just on the other end of like really I'm like can find pretty much anything.
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier, is that I tell people what you said. I was like, Jenna said I probably just have a really, refined palate, so I can just taste more. That's why I'm picky. I don't know, it makes me feel kind of good about myself. But
no, I would rather be able to smell more things.
It's just sometimes I do wish I could just like eat something though to fit in like a weird way, because everyone's enjoying it or they like it, but it's like I just can't, like, I don't know, I'm just not. And the other thing with I don't eat meat. I don't eat a lot of meat. Every once in a while I'll eat maybe something with meat. Like I've had like a pepperoni pizza before, but sometimes I don't. And it's not I wish it was more for like a good reason behind it. It's I don't like the texture of it, and that's I think that meat smells really good when it's cooking. Like when people are like, oh, it's making me hungry. Like I feel the same way. Meat tastes and the texture is a lot different than it smells to me. Like they don't correlate.
Really?
So like it feels off in my head. Like I don't like it. And sometimes I used to be able to do turkey, can't do turkey at all anymore. I used to be able to do chicken. Now it's like every once in a great while. Because sometimes I'll get like a chicken sandwich. I used to like them. And sometimes you get one, it's like, it tastes a little too alive to me.
Dude, a lot of people say chicken like weirds them out in a lot of ways. I have no issues with chicken.
Sometimes it's really good though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I have a lot of like really specific, like I'll just kind of say it, like if I'm eating something, I'm not trying to start fights. I'll just be like, oh, this one's kind of raisiny, and then people will be like, what are you talking about? It's like I'm just like
trying to describe
thinking out, like I'm trying to figure it out in my own head. So I do get in some fights over these claims, but
I find it interesting.
Thank you. All right, your turn. That was a big one.
I guess I'll go into so I'm not specific about food, but I am specific about something, and that's my sleep routine.
Yeah.
And this has been a process.
You're like a zealot for it now.
I am. It's bad because now that I've implemented all these things, I really can't sleep as well without it's like a formula. Like I've figured it out. And so now, I don't get as great a sleep if I don't have all the things. But
so just break down for us what your current sleep routine is. List everything.
Okay. So I won't list like the skincare and all that, but it does start in my bathroom. So I guess I'll mention this because it's not really like sleep, but I do recommend it. It's I'll like brush my teeth, all that, whatever. Then I use a water flosser and put some mouthwash in it. Tells you, it makes your mouth feel so clean.
Yeah, I would like that.
I have gotten really like specific about my like dental care too, just because I don't know, I just like got a nicer toothbrush, and so I don't know, I don't like the feeling of plaque like at all in my teeth. So I will water floss with mouthwash and then also floss like regularly. And then specific to my like nighttime routine, I spray magnesium on my feet.
Yes, this is when it starts to get like
when it starts to get a little weird. But I swear by it, dude. When I first tried it, you get this like tingly feeling, and it's honestly not the most pleasant. It was like weird.
That would freak me out. Yeah.
But that means it's like working because you're like low on
because you're dying
magnesium. So I do that, and I really do think it helps. But I can't pinpoint one of these things because I did try and like try them all in similar time frames, so I can't really pinpoint if like one of these things is like working really well. And I've been taking a lot. So
you just have to do it all.
I know, like supplements in the morning.
Yeah.
So I do think I overall feel just a lot better because I've tried a lot of different things. So now I've just been doing them all because I don't want to stop. But yeah, so at night I'll spray magnesium, and then in my bed I have 2 fans. Okay, but I need some sort of white noise. Like that's required. I like cannot sleep in like silence.
I really like that too.
And then I had got this weighted night mask. It's like a weighted sleep mask.
That sounds nice.
Yes, and I do like I'm really bad at I will sleep on my stomach, which is really bad for your back. Like you're not supposed to do that. So I do try to start on my back, and the only times I've ever been able to really fall asleep is if I have this like weighted sleep mask on. Usually in the morning I do wake up on my stomach because that's just how I prefer to sleep. But I am trying to train myself to like not sleep on my stomach for my future self. And then I also, this is probably where it gets a little weird. I have this sleep hair mask, so it's like a sleep like bonnet. And
that one's not the weird one.
No, sorry, I was gonna say the last one is a little weird. I tape my mouth, which a lot of people, there's a lot of controversy around that. But I swear it does. Like I'm a mouth breather. Like there's some mornings where I'll wake up and I'm like my mouth is open, like there's drool on my pillow, like it's just unpleasant. And you're not, and it like especially in the winter, like I'll wake up with like a sore throat because I was breathing out of my mouth. So I do that, and I think it really, really does help, like, me sleep.
See, just, like, the image of that is, like,
it's terrifying.
Jarring. It's jarring, and you're such a, like I said, you're a zealot for it. I struggle getting good sleep, and you are, like, insisting, you gotta try, tape your mouth, and I was like, I'm not a mouth breather, though. You're like, just do it, and I'm like, that would freak me out if I woke up and kind of felt, even though you're like, it's not going to shut it forever, any resistance kind of freaks me out.
No,
like,
to be fair, though, it's not like you're taping your mouth, like, to where no air's coming out. It is just kind of one piece of tape like this, and it just keeps it from your lips, like, opening.
See, I am, ever since, like, my phone is definitely listening to me, because ever since you told me about this, literally every day I will get an ad for hostage tape. And
really?
it's called hostage tape, and it's, to sleep at night, and you put the thing, just one line. People like swear by it, but I don't think I struggle with that because I told you I grind my teeth really hard at night. Like
that's not good.
I've said to the point where I chip my teeth through my retainer.
That's crazy.
So I don't think that's a problem for me.
No, I think you should try magnesium though. I do think it would.
Maybe. Yeah. I feel like it could be good, but I feel like it would freak me out the first couple times, the tingling.
Yeah, but it gets you acclimate to it.
But you swear by it, and you said you really do feel like your sleep has been like, do you stay asleep through the night better too?
That's one thing is I used to like kind of wake up a lot and just kind of be restless. I like REM sleep throughout the night, and I do think it has made a difference. And then I think it makes a difference on my day to day because I am getting better sleep. I've just been on like a little bit of a health journey, so like there's a lot of like improvements I've seen in just my overall like energy levels, and I really do think it does stem from sleeping like good REM sleep at night.
I mean, if it works, but it's a little bit terrifying, but
it's excessive for sure.
I could get on board with some of those, like the eye mask. That sounds cool. I would try the magnesium thing, but also I have such bad circulation. Like, can I have socks on? Or do they need to be off?
No, you can have socks on. I don't think that like makes a difference, but I'd probably let it dry first, but
I'll give it a try. We'll see.
Give it a whirl.
Give it a little whirl.
All right, what's yours?
So another weird habit of mine. I don't know. It's like kind of a habit, kind of not, but I know that we've talked about in the past that I have a lot of like random. I call them like, what's the word for it?
Like
not
phobias.
Involuntary phobias is what I call them.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of the times I want to do whatever the thing is or whatever the activity calls for, but my body has a physical reaction to it, like a fear response. So we've talked about, I get kind of like vertigo type thing if I'm up too high. Even though I want to be up high, I think it's cool to see the view and everything, but like my body has a physical reaction to it where I feel like shaky and shivery, like I feel fear. And one of the big ones in that category is the heights is pretty regular for me. And the other one is that I have a fear of large animals. Or just like even if it's a statue of an animal. Like
I know that's just where you lose me. I totally get the big animal, like that's like but some of the things that you've told me elicit that response. Like you sent me this TikTok of it animated. It was like the animated, like how fast a cheetah can run or something, or it was like
it's a man. It's you start with a man and it's a comparison chart, so it's like animated, so you see about the speed and then you see like what would a jackrabbit look like next to the man, what would a cheetah look like, but eventually the animals get bigger,
but they are animated.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like the first Ice Age or the first Frozen when it's like that really like rudimentary, like
and you told me that like elicited a fear response, and I was not to like, I'm not laughing because it's like not but it is a little,
I know it's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous, but again, that's why I call it an involuntary.
You can't help
like
it.
It's not like if they said like, Amelia, for your job I need you to watch this thing on bears. I would do it, but I'm just like, I just get that fear response. So yeah, it's large animals, kind of in any sense of the word. Like going to the zoo is stressful. Like I think it's fun, but like even if like, you know, there's like a wolf there or like a giraffe or a big elephant or whatever, like I immediately feel like I'm like, I think I said I went to the zoo with a friend once and I didn't really notice how big of a fear that actually was in my life until I saw like a tiger or something come out, or a wolf that wasn't even the biggest, but I could feel my knees start to buckle and I was like, what is this about? And just every time I've gone somewhere where there is a large animal in sight, when I'm watching on my phone, if I get a video of like a crocodile in the water and then it emerges, or like a bear walking through the woods, especially if it turns and looks right down the barrel of the camera like that, and I'm sure there's a bit of like a danger fear, but it's usually like a large animal fear. Or if there's like big taxidermy things, hate those. There's one in an MSU building right at class, and I would have to literally look down and just like go like, or if you go up north, there's a lot of like bears, or if there's like a big statue or a fake dinosaur or something, I don't like it. I really would rather, it makes me feel like fluttery chills, and then like I lose my balance, and it's just like, sometimes if you know, sometimes you watch scary things for fun. I do that with like nature videos sometimes, or like or like, you know, like Jaws is like kind of scary, or like Jurassic Park, like
when we go to Universal in Florida, they have a Jaws.
I know.
You would hate it, but it'd be so funny.
The thing is, like, how far away are we from it? Because if it's like
not far at all.
No, I don't think I could do it. I think I could maybe do it. I don't know. I feel scared. Like, the thing is, that sounds fun because I'm a big fan of Jaws the movie.
Yeah.
But that sounds like, the thing is, I feel already embarrassed. Like, I want to go, but I don't know how I would do on that. Like, I don't know if I could enjoy it. But or those, if I can find a clip of that one comparison video that starts with a man and then there's some like scary music. There's like, it starts out so basic too. There's like a man, and then there's like a cat, and then there's like a dog, and then there's like a wolf. And at wolf, I'm already gone. Like, and then there's like cheetah, lion, leopard, bear. Bear is really too much for me right now. Rhinoceros is a lot. Elephant, I don't like it. Like, it just really is. It's a lot for me.
Yeah, I'm just so interested to know what the like fear response feels.
I've never been scarred at like a zoo or something. Like, it just,
I just don't, like we've talked about, I just don't get that response to anything. So
must be nice.
I do have a story that will maybe make you feel a little bit better though.
Yeah, I'm ready.
At Kalahari, we were going down water slides, and it was the first water slide we were like gonna go down and try. And I'm just an oblivious person in general for like some things, and so I just didn't even look at the slide. I was like, it's a water slide. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people, I think a regular person would look at when you're going up the stairs, okay, what does this look like? I don't know what it is sometimes. I'm so oblivious. So I just didn't even look at it. Didn't even know what so we get up there, and I'm like, for some reason, I do get this, like, little sense of, like, I haven't been on a water slide in a while. Like, I've kind of forgot what it feels like. And so I'm going, and he gives the red light, and I'm like, all right. So I go, and it's, like, pitch black to start, and it's
like that.
fast. It's,
I don't like that at all.
Down fast. And so I have contacts in. So I shut my eyes, because I'm like, I'm going to lose these, and then I'm like, my vision's very bad.
Yeah.
So I shut my eyes. This water slide was a funnel that just drops you into, like, this pool at the end. So I'm going down pitch black. The tunnel, the water slide's like pitch black to start, and then it just drops you in this funnel. I don't open my eyes in the funnel because I'm like, I can't see. So imagine me so disoriented. I just feel like I'm in this open, I'm like kind of open my eyes a little bit. Yeah. I just see it's almost like I felt like I was getting like birthed. Like it was like it was a bizarre experience. And then for most people going down this water slide, what I learned later is you open your eyes during when you get dropped into the funnel part, and you reorient yourself so you fall feet first. I didn't open my eyes. I fell head first. It dropped me head first into this deep pool, and that's the end of it.
That's scary.
When I tell you, it was one of the most disorienting things I've ever experienced, because I'm telling you, I'm like funneling, and then I just get dropped head first into water. And I come emerging. I'm sure the lifeguard thought I was like drowning, because I was so taken aback by it. I like emerge, and then I'm like low-key kind of panicking, because I'm like, what did I just like experience? And I still can't really see, so I'm like like trying to get out of it. And then I think like eventually I did, because it's like the end is deep, because it has to be, because it literally just spits you out. And so I was like, got spit out, and I'm underwater being like, where am I? I didn't plug my nose. I come up like choking. Geez. And I was like, yeah, never again am I gonna just like not look at what I'm going on. Because what was that?
See, that would have killed me. That whole experience, I would have been dead. But like, that gives me anxiety, but it also, obviously I knew you were fine, so the image of you just like,
I know.
When everyone else has their eyes open.
I would love to see the footage of that, because I know we went on a second time, and you can, if you open your eyes and you know your surroundings, you can kind of maneuver yourself. Yeah. I'm sure I was just head first was great. Head first with your eyes closed is so funny. It did scar me for a second. I was like, what was that? But yeah, I thought that would make you
That is really funny. That did make me feel good. All right, let's hear your last one.
Okay, my last one. Let me see, what do they have here? Oh, I guess I'll go. Actually, can I rapid fire too?
Sure.
Okay, so first one is, I have like a weird I guess just a weird media consumption, I think, compared to the average person. Mm-hmm. I like need noise on, I think it's partially because of my ADHD, but like it's bad. It's something I want to break, but it's like, if I'm just existing in silence, it makes me uncomfortable. So I'll put on like a podcast, or I'll put on something for noise. And it's gotten to the point where like, I like a lot of true crime podcasts. That's not really like strange, but I like fall into just YouTube because it's just easy to put on. And I like follow really closely like the YouTube drama of like the big influencers to the point where it's like a little embarrassing. I know like everything that's going on. Like, I don't know if you ever remember when like Dramageddon happened with like the beauty YouTubers.
Yes, with James Charles and stuff. Yeah.
I was enthralled. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was just so entertaining to me. And I would watch all the like T channel videos on it. And I'm like, I'm a little too old for this, but like, it's so entertaining. And I get like weirdly niche too. Like, it started out as like the big YouTubers, and now like my TikTok will just, I guess it just knows I like the tea, and so just like I'll be on the most random like pottery tea talk, and I'm like any tea, like it's just there. Yeah,
that's fun. I like watching those too, but yeah, you definitely like know a lot of them. the lore. Because you don't even follow those people. Like, it's not like you follow all those influencers. You just know all the drama.
It's not great, too, because it's like, again, it's not like I'm hate watching, but I'm definitely not like fan watching either. Yeah. I'm just very neutral. Just like consuming. This is just consuming. And at that point, I'm like, why can't I be consuming some like educational, like, like learning something?
I kind of wish I could channel my random watching into something more productive.
I don't know what it is. It just scratches something in my brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the other one I had was, I'm allergic to alcohol, but sometimes I have a bad habit of like kind of making it my personality. Not really, but like when we go out, I feel like I have to explain myself of like, because people are always like, why aren't you drinking? Or like, why don't you drink more? Or things like that. And I get really self-conscious because like, when I say allergic to alcohol, it's not like I'm going to die, but like I'll drink like hardly any alcohol and I get beet red. It's called the Asian glow. I feel like I give this spiel all the time because everyone's like, what? I break out in like hives. Yeah. And then I feel also it's
not the average pleasant experience for you.
No, and I don't experience alcohol, I don't think, like the average person. Like, it's not like I'm like having like a great time. A lot of the times it's like at first, like maybe you get those feelings of like being like drunk, but then very soon after it's like the bad effects of alcohol, like feeling hungover, but it's like it's not the next day. Yeah. And so I'll feel like a headache and like I'll just feel not good. So I don't love drinking, but when I do get pressured to drink, I always make it a point because I get like really paranoid because people are like, a lot of times if I drink too much, my face will get red and then my eyes will get red and then I get people asking me, are you okay? Like, have you been crying?
I hate that.
Or they'll be like, have you been smoking? And I'm just like, no, like I'm allergic to alcohol. And so my friends make fun of me because they're like, we get it, you're allergic to like your whole personality. I'm like, no, I'm not trying, but like I feel like I have to explain myself. So if you know me, I've definitely said before, like, I'm allergic to alcohol. I can't drink like the average person.
Yeah. In general, I wish there was just more like settings where you could have fun without. Because like I don't have that, but I don't have a good reaction to weed, and that's like a lot more of the everyman's vice now. And I'm like,
I know.
What if we played a board game? I don't even want to do that. That doesn't sound fun. But just in general, I wish there was like option 3.
No,
like,
I know, seriously.
Something for people that just barely mellowed you out. No harsh after effects. But and I don't want to be lame either. So it's like,
Yeah, I would like alcohol if it didn't make me feel like crap because I feel like it does make me more social. Whereas like I like the effects of weed more, obviously, than alcohol. But it does make me more social. It makes me kind of want to hermit. So then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go to a party and get high because then I'm just going to want to leave. Yeah. But then I'm like, I don't want to go to a party and drink because then I'm like, and then I just look like a tomato and I feel awful. And I always regret it too. Every time I drink too much, I'm like, which isn't even often, but there are times where I'm like, you know, just play the college drinking games and I get the bitch cup and whatever game we're playing. And then I'm like, because once I start drinking, I deceive myself. I'm like, yeah, this is fun, whatever, loosen up. And then I, you know, sometimes take it too far and then I hate myself after because I feel so sick and awful. And I'm like, why? Yeah. Did you think the effects were going to be any different this time?
There needs to be more of a blend of people at parties too. Like, they need to be able to coexist, people that aren't having anything and people that are at the same time. I'm a firm believer in like, have your vices, do whatever you want as long as you're being safe and that kind of stuff. But if you cannot have a good time without a vice, ever in your life, I don't think you have a personality. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's not even that hot of a take. But maybe, it probably is because there are, I even some of my friends, like, it is like,
every time we get together, there has to be stuff. I'm like, do you not have a person? Are you not funny or interesting? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that used to piss me off with, like, because if we plan an activity, I feel like the activity is like what we're
That's doing. The social component.
Yes, and so then people always want to, and there are some things like, yeah, sure, like smoke, I don't care. Yeah. But like when we're going on like a hike or something like outdoor, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me when people like have to like get drunk or and I'm just like, I'm just trying to like enjoy, you know?
That's my thing. Do your thing. Not that I won't partake sometimes, but it's like if you have to, then maybe there's a bigger problem there. But I'm with you on that. But anyway, so those are our exposing some of our weird habits and quirks.
Yeah, I feel like those are pretty tame, to be honest. I don't think we're like that quirky, to be honest.
I think there's either like problems that are just not going to come out on this podcast,
Yeah.
but those are just as far as like just kind of fun little habits that I think sometimes spark discussion in our lives. So if anyone relates to these or wants to fight us on some of these, put it in the comments. Let us know. Or if you have weird ones that you thought were normal and found out they're weird, comment them or send them to us.
I'm sure there's people that have some like cool.
You gotta be worse than this for sure.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty boring, to be honest. I wish I had more like, interesting works.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just like
if one of us was a klepto, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I know. We're both too anxious of people to do that. I'm trying to think of what would be like an interesting quirk. I don't know. It's just something like collecting something really cool or being like really into like.
That's not a quirk. That's collecting things. These are weird habits. Like these are habits. They're not necessarily good. They're just things that we do. All right. Well, have a good week, guys.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.